Yo, what up, camaradas? It's Zod, your boy. Anyways, I just wanted to get at you real quick just to, inform you of the interview that I just did yesterday with Big Herc. That shit was feed me a win. Dude, the thing I like about Big Herc is the fact that he's not invasive. He doesn't try to go into questions that he knows that you can't answer. Like, he's still on some convict shit as far as like silence about certain things and not asking certain questions. And there's a few channels out there that they expect me to go into detail about shit that they know I can't go into detail about. But before that, before I get into it, shouts out to all the homies from Rialto, shouts out to Utah, shouts out to anybody that I forgot. Just go ahead and drop me a message and I'll get back at you. Pero ya sabes. Anyway, like I said, I want to get back into it. I did that with Big Herc. I enjoyed it. Dude is a solid motherfucker, and he's about his business, and he really trying to create these lanes in order, like, he's not trying to do the basic shit. This dude is like really trying to take it to the next plateau, put himself into situations that might be slightly uncomfortable, as far as like when you're dealing with different people. And for the most part, he's winning. And with the platform that he got, he's probably going to take it really far. And with me, I'm trying to get to that point to where I'll have that platform to where homies that may not have that voice in order to like do certain things as far as like music and other things, that they want to do, because there's somewhat of a stigmatism, due to the fact of past dudes trying to do the same thing and just put a bad name on it. And hopefully, like, when people ask me what do I want to do, and that's what I want to do. I want to create a lane for the homies and pretty much anybody, but first and foremost, I'm a push for the homies as hard as I can. And that's basically what I'm trying to do. So for all of us that really push for that Big Herc interview and just really was putting it out there, it's greatly appreciated. And because of you, I might be able to take it to the next level. Like me personally, like, when all these fools be like talking about that I won't come on their show because I'm scared or whatever, they sidebar that shit, go through 3 different people in order to make their comments. But at the end of the day, I'm just gonna say like this: if you're fucking with the Hudas, you're going to court and shit, I don't fuck with you. That's just plain and simple. I don't fuck with fools that are fucking with the Hudas, and that's nothing personal against you. You can do what you want when you're a civilian. You can do that type of shit. But if you're like supposedly on some street shit, whether you fuck around, that's like me fucking with the cops, knowing that at one time I was banging out here. It's a separation, it's division. I respect they got to do their job, and when I was a criminal, I had to do mine. So I have no problem against that. But for the lots that supposedly supposed to be street, and you want to try to twist me up and have me say like certain things in order for. This is not 6ix9ine. This is not about that. I don't need to boast about shit in order to get myself locked in cuffs. That's for them fools that still want to be out there doing it. That's not me. I don't need you to boast my vodka in order to make me feel special. That's the past. That would be some fake shit for me to try to boast it, and I'm not out here clapping at fools no more. Like me, I'm on some money shit. I'm about that bag. I'm about homies connecting. I'm about open up lanes for homies, and and that's just basically what it's about. But I'm not gonna go into all that. You want to help me out, dude? Don't ask me to go on channels that's just basically about gangs. Put me on the Breakfast Club. Send me on there with somebody that got spit that I can actually push forward. All that other shit, I'm cool on it. And as far as like, I ain't gonna even mention who said that, but whatever. But another thing I wanted to talk about, before I get out here, I just finished cleaning the car and shit, and as you can see, the beard is like medio chafa and shit, but it's mental health, dog. Like, in prison, like, mental health is like looked at really bad. Like if you're, and for the most part, there's a lot of homies that suffer from mental health. I've seen it. I've known watchers that have been through it, and they have to suffer through it because as a homie, we can't go to the EOP yards. We can't take certain medications, basically, and not even go to the EOP yard. We can't take certain medications because they're considered hot meds. And, when you got hot meds, they put you on another yard, and you're on the yard with some officers are straight weirdos, some officers are just fucking basura, and some fools are just like schizo and rubbing shit on their head and all that other shit. So we can't really go over there and still be looked at as a solid homie, And So, you know, with that being said, it's like a lot of people fail to realize that right now, and there's a lot of suffering mentally. You know, there's some fools that are emotionally gotta hold it together and barely holding it together. And it's not the fact of not being down, it's the simple fact that the mind is a fragile thing. In a lot of cases, people break. And just because they don't go out backwards and end up on the PC yard, they still mentally break. Some of them break to the point to where they can no longer be put back together, so they get out and they get into drugs and they get on certain medications that fuck them up even more because they couldn't get that help in prison. And that's a sad thing when you think about it. There's a lot of your homeboys right now that are in jail suffering, and the only thing they can do is do drugs to try to keep their mind off certain things. I've seen homies that, you know, they go schizo in prison, and then it's not their fault. They were just off from the gate, and, you know, violence perpetuated that mental breakdown, and they can't get away from it. It's like you get put in a situation to where, like, do I want to stay solid and represent for my vodka and not be one of these fools on the EOP yard, or do I get help? And for most cases, people have to wait till they get out on the streets in order to get that type of help, because you're looked at bad if you're taking medication. Like, it's crazy because the same authors that you know clown because of author has to take medication or wants to take medication, the same ones that are slamming dope in their arm are there, you know, they're doing fucking lines of that fucking the, you know, scante and shit, you know, getting all weak in the booty and shit, you know, like it's a lot of hypocritical shit in prison, you know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, if you got a camarada, you got a homie that you've been solid with since a little kid, or, you know, just vatos that you really respect, or even those you're just trying to get to know because maybe you got in when he was busted so you didn't get a chance to know him, start sending these vatos cards and shit, you know, just regular cards every once in a while. You know, I know it's hard, you know, we get busy, we be out here doing our thing, but every once in a while, drop a kite to a motherfucker and let him know, you know, you appreciate what he did for your vodka, even though it might be negative. You appreciate what he did for your vodka. He put himself out there in order to probably keep one of your homeboys from getting killed, or maybe he took a charge that it had nothing to do with him, but, you know, motherfucker, stay solid. In some cases, vatos turn around and snitch on that vato, you know, in order to get on the street. And now it's even worse. You know, that's the most prevalent thing now. Oh, you got 3 years? But this vato's gonna get life. But oh, fuck that, I can't do the 3 years because I want to be out on the street tweaking and slamming dope, so I'll go snitch on this vato. And it's just like, fuck his life, you know what I mean? And he ain't had nothing to do with it, but just fuck his life because I need to be out on the streets. And that's how a lot of vatos think, you know what I mean? So for the ones that's solid, you know what I mean, and it's understandable. We all got our own lives and we got things to do, so we can't just take care of another man all the time. But just every once in a while, you know, just drop a kite on one of these vaults, because when you're in there for the homies that's been through the bullshit, you know, it can mentally wear on you. You don't always wake up every day wanting ready to fucking put in work, or ready to be ready for whatever's gonna happen. Sometimes you wake up sick and you ain't got, what can you do? You have to go to yard, you have to do this, you have to do that. So there's no off days for us, especially, you know, for the solid homies. There's no off days for us. It's always, you know, on call. If it's gonna get popping, it's gonna get popping. And sometimes you out there sick, you got the flu, you feeling half dead. Maybe you were getting high all night, or drinking, you know, to keep your mind off of other shit like family, or, you know, people's half-hours die and they mentally break, you know. A lot of authors lose everything while they're busted, so they get out with nothing to lose. So they end up back in jail, you know what I mean? Or they end up slamming dope and end up dying, and, you know, they end up doing all types of crazy shit. Some fools just end up going out backwards because they figure, what's the use? I don't got shit when I touch the street. Why listen to somebody tell me what to do when I can just go and live in a spot and go home and not have to deal with none of that shit? And for the most part, you know, some people do change their life and some people get stuck. But mental health is a serious thing. Like, I can go into statistics and numbers and just how much people, you know, suffer from that, but I'm not in a position right now. Like, well, I'm outside, you know, like I said, I just cleaned the car, so I can't really go into it. But if anybody really wants to know, just do a little research on the mental health issue in prison, and you'll see that it's serious. A lot of us are like really suffering from that. So that's why I say, you know, every once in a while drop a little something. You ain't gotta drop no ferga if you ain't got it, but like every once in a while, you know, drop a kite to your homie. Hey, you know, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? You gave your life in order to make sure that one of the homies didn't die, or for what you thought was like what you needed to represent. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, there's things that everybody's gonna regret. You know what I mean? And some people regret being that wild motherfucker on the street doing stupid shit, but it's already too late. You know what I mean? And it's like, when you're involved in that shit, you can't snitch. You got to do what you got to do. It's like, if you hanging around, you know, the homies, or you're doing your thing with any hood, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't fold at the end of the day, and just because shit get hard, you know what I mean, you want to tell on somebody, like when you've been banging the whole time, and, you know, really out there saying that you were putting in work, and if you were, you know, then you know the consequence of your actions. You know, we all got to answer for. Some people never get busted and some do. So if you get busted, you answer for your crimes. You know, don't go snitch nobody. You know, that's not keeping it G. You know what I mean? But all I wanted to do is basically, you know, tell everybody I did the interview, and, you know, it came out firme, and, you know, I don't know exactly when it's coming out. I think it's gonna be like little bits and pieces before it comes out. I think in January. I'm unsure. You had to get that big Herc to see what's up. But yeah. So for the homies and everybody else that pushed that interview, gracias. My name is Zod, and, you know, AK Blast from Sullen, and, you know, everybody keep it positive. Try to stay out for the holidays, man. You know, try to be out. Like, if your head's still alive, your family's still alive, try to be out for them. You know, if you insist on going to jail, and you insist on doing something stupid, you know, do them after the holidays. If that's the case, at least give one family member just one fucking, you know, 1 year of you being out, if you can, if possible. So all the camaradas busted. My name is Zod, and you about to enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm out.